kind of waiting to speak to Mr Abbott. I feel very sorry for them. Their event has been overtaken. Their opportunity to talk to the opposition leader about what he's promising for them has really been overridden. There were a couple of comments of telling Mr Latham that he should go away, but at the moment he is standing firm with journalists and the like, and he is waiting and to get to talk to Tony Abbott. Just looking at the number of doors here, Tony Abbott does have to come out this one door, it would appear, behind me, and I would say that is what Mark Latham seems to be waiting for. So it's certainly a standoff at the moment, and as I said, we have questioned Mr Latham about what he's going to be speaking to Mr Abbott about, and he told me I'd have to watch 60 Minutes to find out, but I'm sure all will soon be revealed. But yes, Kieran, the veterans announcement that Mr Abbott has made here this morning, giving them a commitment with various promises, has been, you'd have to say, overridden, with all cameras now firmly fixed on Mark Latham.
Selena, it's Sharon here. Our camera is locked off on Mark Latham at the moment.
Mr Latham, we're live on Sky News. Can I ask you what you're going to talk to Mr Abbott about?
It's your choice to put the cameras on me. You can put them on Tony Abbott in a free society, but the media's chosen to do this.
Kieran, as you can see, Mr Latham says it's the media that has chosen to do this. It's actually nothing to do with him. And so he is here and he is waiting for Tony Abbott, who's just over yonder. I think he's just given me one of his looks. And he's waiting to speak to Tony Abbott as part of his job as 60 Minutes reporter.
Here we go.
Here we go.
There's movement.
Here we go. Where are we going? Oh, I moved. Oh, God.
Actually, I have to tell you, Kieran, if you can still hear me, there are chairs actually being put in the way by Tony Abbott's security to try and block Mr Latham's path here. So I've kind of been lost in the scrum a bit, and there's a poor gentleman trying to make his way through here. Sorry, sir. But they have been putting chairs in around Mr Abbott. He is campaigning with Fiona West, of course, the Liberals candidate for Lindsay. And he's about to talk to one of these veterans. Mr Latham is, I say.
You don't know any of it.
No, of course not. Thanks very much.
Use the old service attitude. Graduated specialist. Stuff a wall. Yeah,
I'll have to get that quote.
works for me.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
Thanks for your call.
Mr Latham helping himself to a cup of coffee.
Selena, can we ask you, it's Sharon here, can we ask you, our cameras are locked off on Mark Latham, what's the posture of Tony Abbott's mind? I mean, obviously they're very aware of this situation. Can you tell us what they're trying to do?
I'll just get Dean to turn around for you, Sharon, and give you an idea of where Tony Abbott is. You'll have to appreciate it's pretty difficult at the moment, but it's about 4 metres away, I have to say. Mark Latham's offering to measure it out for me here, I've got to tell you. He's certainly been witty in this whole confrontation routine.
It's more like 5.5. If I was to be accurate by my estimate.
Thanks, Mr Latham. So we've got one situation of one smaller media scrum over with Tony Abbott, and then, of course, this much larger media scrum here with Mr Latham.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a friendly fire there.
He got me a lot of flack. Does that worry you?
No.
He seems
And Lee
to
and
have
Sharon, I have to tell you as well that there's lots of veterans also trying to make their way through and talk to the opposition leader Tony Abbott and also to Mr Latham at the same time.
So Selena, it's Lee here. There's not a degree of hostility towards Mr Latham from the veterans there for effectively taking over the event. It's quite revealing that all the cameras have been on him for the past 10 minutes, and Tony Abbott's a bit of a sideshow there.
Yes, I would say that's right. Initially, of course, there were a few people who said you should go away to Mr Latham, but I'm actually not sure whether they were veterans or whether they were members of Mr Abbott's team, so I'm really not sure. Mr. Abbott was already speaking when Mark Latham arrived downstairs, and so he was already in this room well and truly. And so when Mark Latham came in, of course, there are a few fire doors, but that's about it. He really does have to come back out this way, and I think he's on the move.